Okay, I've finished my article KWL and I have my research, so I'm ready to begin drafting my article. So you have a drafting checklist to help you know what to include in the article. There's a hard copy of this, and this document's also on Google Classroom. On Classroom, you want to open the assignment called Magazine Article, and it says in the directions there to open a blank document where you'll type your article. But you also want to have your KWL open because this has all your research, and you can just copy and paste your quotes directly from this document into your draft that you're typing. So drafting checklist, first thing it says is 700 to 1,000 words long. When you're typing your article, if you come to the top of a Google Doc and click on Tools, there's a word count right here. This is also where you can check spelling and grammar, which you need to do before you're done. So check your word count often. Make sure you're 700 to 1,000 words. Have at least 3 direct quotes. Make sure your quotes are punctuated and sandwiched correctly. Sandwich just refers to the idea, guys, that we've used all year long of anytime I have a quote in my writing, I need to introduce it using a signal phrase. And then after the quote, I need a sentence in my own words to explain the quote and why I've chosen to use that. Then I need to give credit to the source of my borrowed information. I can do that in my introduction or in a citation, which is parentheses at the end of the quote with that word that refers to my works cited page. And it says if I have citations, make sure that those match a source on my works cited page. These other 3 we'll talk about in a different video. When you're done typing the article, there are some things you need to do to spruce it up and finalize it. For now, though, we'll just focus on drafting it. So another thing with drafting it is we're going to use inverted pyramid. So instead of having an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, we're just going to order our paragraphs so that our first paragraph has the essential information, second has useful, third has additional, and then if we have other facts, we can just include those in a 4th paragraph. So to write the paragraphs, I would start by looking at my questions, what I want to know from my research, and you would have 4 here. I'm just going to use this one for an example, but I would, of the 4 questions, decide which one is the essential information, and write that paragraph first. And then after that, do your next most important. So I'm going to say that this was my most important question, and the research that I found that answered that was down here for question 1 quotes. So I just need to write a paragraph that includes these quotes and integrates them correctly. So on Classroom, there's a writing process tips page that shows you exactly how to structure your paragraphs. You need a topic sentence. All paragraphs need an introduction. So have a transition word, state your topic, and then give your claim. And there's an example paragraph below that shows that. So in red here, I state the topic, Tim Tebow's NFL prospects, and I give my claim here where it's underlined. Up here, bleak, without a switch in a position or a new, more Tebow-friendly situation. After you introduce your topic and you have a topic sentence, then you do your quote sandwiches. Introduce your first quote, give the quote, and then explain it afterward. And you can see for this paragraph, because I had 2 quotes, I did that twice. So I introduced the first one here in green, then I give the quote here in black, and because I didn't say where that came from in my introduction, I have a citation that refers to the works cited page, and then in orange, I explain that first one. And then I go right into my second one. So my second quote, I introduce right here. This time, though, I did mention the source, Fenelon. So after I give my quote, I do not need a citation, and then I explain it again in orange. So quote sandwich, introduce, give evidence, interpret. And then to end your paragraph, you just conclude with a sentence that summarizes. And if you use if then, that's a really good structure for that. If the definition of an NFL quarterback includes dominating passer, then Tim Tebow may need to redefine himself as a player. All right, so I've drafted my first paragraph. I just come back to my KWL. That was my most important question. So now I just move on to my second, third, fourth, and I draft my article.